Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So my group had choose phylum mollusca as title of our assignment project. For the introduction, phylum mollusca is known as second largest animal phylum and invertebrate animal after the arthropoda. Mollusca include many familiar animals like squid, snails, slug, and clams. Besides, mollusca can be found in nearly all freshwater, marine environments, and also terrestrial habits. Even though the size of phylum mollusca is smaller compared to the other animals, but do you know that this animal plays an important role in balancing the ecosystem in the world? So here are some characteristics of phylum mollusca. For the first one is the body of phylum mollusca is triploblastic, chromate, and have unsegmented soft body. Triploblastic means that having a body which derived from three embryonic cell layers, which are ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. While chromate means any animal that possessing fluid-filled cavity within which the digestive system is suspended. Secondly, the circulatory system for the phylum mollusca is open with the heart and aorta. The body of phylum mollusca is divided into the head, ventral muscular foot, and dorsal visceral hump, and medulla. The respiration of phylum mollusca occurs through gills called citinida. Not to forget that the body of phylum mollusca is covered by the mantle and the shell. So, uh, basically, the phylum mollusca is divided into six classes, which are bivalvia, gastropoda, cephalopoda, mollusca, Miniura, and scaphoda. But for our syllabus, we just only need to learn three classes. So these are some of general applications of phylum mollusca. The first one is the phylum mollusca can act as a painkiller of strokes and heart disease from the snail venom. Secondly, the shells of the phylum mollusca can make as shell oil lamps, which is very useful when we have an emergency. Next, it can also act as a drug to inhibit penicillin, which we take from abalone. The shell from the phylum mollusca animal can make as a music instrumental such as trumpet. Last but not least, the shell from the phylum mollusca can also make as an accessories like earrings, bracelet, and jewelry. Pearls that are obtained from the bivalvia and gastropods available as these pearls are lightweight makers. So moving to the next point, which is classifications of phylum mollusca. So here we have three domains, which are eukarya, archaea, and bacteria. Eukarya divided into six kingdoms. The first one is animalia, plants, protists, fungi, archaebacteria, and eubacteria. From the animalia, it divided into seven phylums. The first is Porifera, Cnidaria, Platyhelminths, Annelida, Gastropoda, Mollusca, and Chordata. From the mollusca, it divided into seven classes: Gastropoda, Cephalopoda, Bivalvia, Gastropoda, Aplacophora, Monoplacophora, and lastly Polyplacophora. So we just only need to learn three classes from the mollusca. The first one is Gastropoda. Gastropoda divided into three orders. The first is Anaspidia, Gastropoda, and Cephalaspidia. From the Cephalopoda, we have Nautilida, Ocopoda, and Cepida. And lastly, Bivalvia divided into three classes: Moida, Eucoloida, and Ostroida. So these are some of applications of phylum mollusca. So let's watch the video.
So, Priad is painkiller that we'll use when morphine no longer works. It comes from the venom of a marine snail, which is called Conus maggots. This venom has many of different peptides. The peptides that come from amino acids and will form the proteins. Most of the peptides in the venom are harmful, but the scientists found out there is one particular peptide that can reduce pain. However, the Priad is only used in cases of extreme pain because it does not cross the blood-brain barrier. So, the scientists have been looking for an easier way in. By modifying and testing some of the cone snail's protein in the laboratory, it's made them far more stable. The scientists hope to repackage it inside a pill that we can easily swallow. So, there is the new pain therapy that the doctor will use to the patients. It is also a potential new pathway to prevent pain from developing instead of using opioids such as morphine that have many serious side effects to the body. Okay, first we need to fill in the shell with the olive oil. And then making the wick using anything that can soak up the oil, such as glue, string, and cotton pad. In this video, I choose string. Stick out half of it and another one side to get lit well. And then let's light up our wick. Okay, for do baking, choose flat half of shell to make it as an ideal base. With these tools, we can use it anywhere, everywhere, and anytime easily. Okay, I'm gonna explain how this thing works. When it burns, it will suck up more the oil onto the end of the wick and it will continue burn out the oil. If we are using the bigger shell, the longer time to burn because it can carry more oil.
So for the Islamic perspective in Surah An-Nahl 13 verses, and he is the one who has subjected the sea. So from it you may eat tender seafood and extract ornaments to wear. And you see the ships ploughing their way through it, so you may seek his bounty and give thanks to him. From the translations of Surah An-Nahl, Allah has stated that all the marine life in the sea is for human sake, which we could use the marine life for our own sake without taking advantage on them. For example, the phylum mollusca that we have studied can be used as a painkiller of strokes and heart disease from the snail venom. Besides, we can also use the snail venom to make as accessories to support our life. In Surah An-Nur 45 verses, Allah also has created every animal from the water. Of them are some creeping on their bellies, some walk on two legs, and some on four. Allah creates what He wills, and for sure, Allah has power over all things. From translations of Surah An-Nur, um, Allah has created every single animal from the water to the land has its own function and speciality. For example, the phylum mollusca that we have studied, which we know that they do not have any legs to survive, but they be able to search in the food, and its existence even stabilize the biodiversity in the sea. So these are some of references that we use to study the phylum mollusca. So thank you.